Good evening, everybody. I'm Kath Lloyd from Make the Change, and it's 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday evening, and it's Let's Talk time. So I hope you've had a lovely day. The sun is out again today. I know some people are finding it really quite hot, but here up in Edinburgh, it's actually a really lovely temperature. So I hope you're managing okay and are able to have a bit of relaxation time, even though it may be a little bit difficult if it's so hot at night. So tonight we're going to be talking about quiet time, which is related again to what we've been talking about in the past, which is loosely related to the walking talking therapy. And I know I did relaxation I think it was called and Relax a few weeks ago, and I just want to point out that everything I talk about here today, I haven't had any official training in meditation. Everything that I am talking about, it's from what I've read, it's what I've learned from other people, it's what I have worked out for myself. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I know quite a lot of people now who have tried to meditate and have actually found it very, very difficult. And they say, "Oh, I can't, I can't make my mind go blank. I keep thinking about lots of things, and I just can't do it for very long." And yes, meditation is one of the buzzwords at the moment, but there are very different other different ways of looking at it, which actually is sort of going along the same lines. So if you look up the word meditation, it'll talk about concentration, contemplation, processing your thoughts. Also, linked in with that are words like I can't think what it is now. I wasn't going to say it correctly, so I'll leave it. But even those words are showing you that, it's about your thought process. Okay, hi Anne, lovely to see you here. It's about your thought process. And I think people put themselves under an awful lot of pressure because the word is meditation. But some people use prayer, and that is a form of meditation because you're processing thoughts, you're processing ideas, you are concentrating on one or two things in particular to try and find the answer to it. And some people use mantras as well to go with it, which will also help to focus you and concentrate the mind. But it was like someone from our local Buddhist centre was talking to a friend of mine at one of my stress relief awareness days, and she was saying, "I just can't seem to concentrate. I haven't got the concentration these days." And they were just talking, and she said, "Well, how long did it take you to get here today? How long was your drive?" And it was actually quite a long way. It's about 2 hours. And she said, "Well, you got here, so you must have concentrated for 2 hours. So that means, and that proves that you can concentrate." And so this is why I think a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on themselves. They think they should be perhaps following the rules of other great people who meditate. And when I was out this morning walking my boys, there was somebody walking around, and at first I thought they were just out for a gentle stroll, which they were, but also I saw them later, they were sitting on a bench and they were doing their meditation. So for that person to then be sitting down and doing that her meditation, perhaps the gentle walk was the process to help get her in the right mindset to be able to then focus and use her thoughtfulness and her concentration to be able to do her meditation successfully. And and it takes time to tune in, especially, if you're in a very anxious or stressed state, or you are trying to keep something very emotional under wraps. And I know that when I first started doing body balance, and at the end there would be 10 minutes of relaxation. So for 50 minutes I was fine doing the body balance, doing all the Pilates and the yoga moves and all the strength training and those sorts of things. And as soon as it came to lying on the floor in the quiet, having to have some quiet time or relaxation time, that's when I really, really struggled, because I was lying there and I was having to think about myself, and I was starting to think about all the things I didn't want to think about, that I was sweeping under the carpet and forcing myself away from. And at first it'd be, okay, right, I've done that for 2 minutes, let's go, let's get home, let's get on with the next job. And then as the weeks went by, and I started to force myself to try and relax a little bit longer, yes, all those thoughts that I was trying to brush under the carpet were starting to come to the surface. And I spent a lot of the time in tears, because I was having to think about those things that I didn't want to think about. So, this has got me thinking about, what word do you want to use, or could you use, instead of meditation? And, the other day I was doing my few minutes of exercise to get my, first thing in the morning, to get my metabolism working, first thing in the day after you've been asleep. And I was actually lying flat on my stomach, and I was just giving myself some quiet time. And in actual fact, what I think, I'd got my face to the side, and as I was breathing, I realised that besides feeling, the texture of the carpet on my skin and the firmness, but also the softness of the carpet, I realised that as I was breathing, obviously my body was going up and down slightly, but I was starting to notice that, because of the way your eyes are on your head, the carpet was like moving as well, just slightly. And that was actually me going into a sort of meditative state, and just focusing on the present, focusing on my breathing, focusing on what I could feel beneath me, focusing on the colour of the carpet. Yes, I could hear the traffic in the background, but I was just leaving the traffic to do what traffic does and not let it worry me. Hi Karen, nice to see you. And Ian, by the way, lovely to have you here. So, hi Joe. So, you don't have to sit cross-legged in the traditional way. You can do it any way you like. And, that few minutes of just lying on my stomach, lying on the bedroom carpet in a star shape, put me in a very relaxed frame of mind, which perhaps I shouldn't have been for going out walking the boys, but it put me in a very good state to be able to carry on my day. So if you're out and about, if you're in the car, if you're rushing from one meeting to the next, or if you're on a long journey and you're on the motorway and you're feeling very stressed, anxious, tense, then pull over to the side of the road. It only takes a few minutes. Get off, stop at the next set of services and park in a quieter place as you can. Turn the radio off, perhaps open the window a little bit if it's a nice day. and just shut your eyes and concentrate on your breathing. And, when people say, this is what really annoys me about some of the way people try and teach meditation, they say, clear everything out of your mind, make it blank. Well, you can't make your brain blank or your memory blank or your mind blank. The only time your mind is blank is when you're dead. And you're not dead, you're alive, you're breathing, and you are living. And so, yes, the thoughts are going to be coming into your mind, but, if something comes into your mind that isn't useful to your calmness, then it's a perfect opportunity to say to yourself, okay, I know that thought is there, but it's not being you're not being useful to me at the moment. I will come back to you later on, and then refocus on your breathing. Another way that another couple of ways that I've been reading about, which I thought were very, very good actually, is, put a candle in front of you and watch the flame of the candle. And I've done it briefly, and a candle is very, very mesmerizing because it's just moving very, very gently, isn't it? And so you can really concentrate on it. Other people have talked about having a flower or having a rose. Okay, so you could put an object in front of you and concentrate on that. Personally, the flower or the rose might distract me too much, but concentrating on your breathing, breathing in through your nose, holding it, and then out through your mouth very, very gently. And again, like I've talked about before, you could put one hand on your chest and another hand on your abdomen, and feel the movement of your body, because that will assist in you feeling the rhythm of your body when you're breathing. Okay, so the whole point about quiet time actually is to help you gain more concentration. It'll help you find answers to things that perhaps you are too busy to find answers for. But it'll also give you a better understanding about you, about what's going on around you, about life in general, so that you're in a better position to make better decisions in your life. Especially, and this is especially important, say if you're not sleeping properly. I was talking to somebody at networking today, and she was talking about her husband. Hi, Karen. She was talking about her husband and how he doesn't sleep very well. So I said, well, what is he doing before he goes to bed? And, she said, well, he drinks coffee all day long. He's playing computer games. He's on his phone till late. And then he comes to bed and he's very twitchy. He sleeps, but he's very twitchy and very disruptive, And, I said to her, but I could give you, because I got the essential oils out, I could give you some of that oil, but that oil isn't going to work on its own. It's got to be a lifestyle change as well. You've got to slot other things in around it, because for a lot of these things, there isn't a quick fix. And so we were talking about how to use the oil because she was also struggling with tension and a little bit of anxiety and being busy. And so, we were using we used ylang ylang because she liked the smell of that. And, breathing it in, using it aromatically, but also using it topically as well. And I was teaching her to, put her hand on her chest and her hand on her stomach so that she could gather the rhythm of her body when she was, in the car, going from meeting to meeting, or at night if she was trying to relax when her husband's fidgeting away. So, it's about finding your word. Don't use, you don't have to use the traditional words. So find the word that fits to what you want to use instead of meditation or prayer. For me, it's quiet time. That seems to work for me very, very well. And find a quiet, like I said, find a quiet spot. If you can lie down, it's even better. Don't worry if you do drift off to sleep, because that actually means that you have put yourself into a relaxed state. By using your breathing, by listening to the things that you want to hear around you, by feeling the textures around you, and just concentrate on your breathing and help your mind, to relax so that you can feel more refreshed and calm. That's the key, isn't it? When we're very tense, when we're very anxious, when we're feeling very stressed out, that it's the calmness that we need so we can go back into the situation, whether it's at home or if it's at work, or whether it's about going on the tube or the bus in the rush hour, or battling with the motorway. It's about using your body, just natural things that we do to keep us alive, to help us. Breathing, we're doing it as soon as we're born. We're breathing, aren't we? And we're breathing all the time. So it's about using it to your advantage so that you can gain something better for yourself from it. So I'm going to do a little bit of lying down on the carpet here for just a few minutes, and do a little bit of relaxation or have a little quiet time before I carry on my evening. So that is it for tonight. If you've got any more queries about your quiet time or your relaxation time, then you know where I am. Just drop me a message and I will answer your question as quickly as I can. And have a great week, and I'll be back here for Let's Talk at 8 o'clock next Wednesday evening. Have a great week. Bye bye now. Go off in a minute.